I have an unresponsive client in the OPS room. I'm going to need assistance in the OPS room, assistance to the OPS room. Hey, Morgan. Morgan. Morgan, can you take a deep breath for me? Hey, Morgan. My client isn't responding. I've done the pain stimulants. I'm going to grab my oximeter. It's important that we get their oximeter on because I want to see that they have a pulse. Her oxygen level is dropping rapidly. We have an unresponsive client in the chair. I need to get her onto the ground to start rescue breaths. So I'm going to get my second staff who's now responded, and we're going to tip her chair back, and I'm going to hold her in her chair, and we're going to lower her to the ground. I'm going to grab my pocket mask, which is stocked, sterilized. I'm going to put my one-way valve in while my second staff is getting the naloxone prepped. Tip, your rescue breaths are the most important thing. 2 breaths, 5 seconds, 2 breaths, 5 seconds, 2 breaths, 5 seconds. I always grab my pocket mask and go like this to make sure I get a good seal in. And I'm gonna give 2 breaths. And then I'm gonna take a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we administer the naloxone? 255 naloxone going into upper left thigh. Call it out. You want to call it out because we're going to need these numbers when the paramedics arrive. We're going to grab the radio. 911, please call 911. Client is down in the OPS room. While we're administering the naloxone, I'm still doing my rescue breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We never do chest compressions if there's a pulse. Your client has a pulse. If your client has a pulse, we don't need to do chest compressions. If you start doing chest compressions while they have a pulse, you can actually do the opposite and put them into cardiac arrest. It is now 2:58. My patient is still unresponsive. Prep the next dose of naloxone. So the next dose of naloxone is going to go into the upper right thigh. Administering second dose of naloxone, 258, upper right thigh. Give it a little massage. I'm going to go back to my breast. Now that it's been 3 minutes and we've administered 2 doses of naloxone, client's oxygen level is slowly climbing, but it's not where we want to see it. I'm going to continue to do my rescue breaths until the oxygen gets to 94 or they wake up. When we respond to an overdose, their lips could be very blue, their lips could be pale, their skin's going to be very pale with a bluish tint. It's just because there's no oxygen going into their body. That is why it's super, super important to get those rescue breaths in. You can save someone's life by just giving those rescue breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to take my pain stimulants and I'm going to try and arouse her again. The back of your trap, so you're just going to take your thumb and just dig it in there with all that you have. And, oh, she's responding a little bit. I'm going to just yell at her, hey, Morgan, I need you to take some big breaths for me. They're going to take a big breath. You're going to kind of sit back because you never know how they're going to react when they come out of it. Hey, Morgan, you had an overdose. Morgan, hey, Morgan, just take it really slow. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Take some big, deep breaths. So when 911 arrives on scene, they're going to want to know the patient's name, the age, the birth date. They're going to want to know how much naloxone we gave them, what time we gave it to them, and where we gave it to them. Because of the benzos in the drugs that we're seeing, sometimes it takes 3 to 4 shots. That's okay. Wait those 3 to 4 minutes in between the shots of naloxone, and we're also going to continue doing our breaths. If the oxygen is at 94 and up, you're seeing nice big breaths going in and out, but they're still not fully awake. That's okay because their oxygen level is up, they're breathing on their own. It's just the benzo. It's going to take a few more minutes. It's always important after an overdose, we debrief with our staff because it is a scary scene that we're coming up on. This is why we have the overdose prevention sites and inhalation areas, because this individual used in our room where we are trained, we were able to save another life today.